Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Unfound Podcast Channel on YouTube. I am, of course, Unfound's host, Ed Denzel, and as the title suggests, this is a map video, map analysis, location analysis for the disappearance of Zac Carey, who went missing from Lynville, Indiana. And this is an episode that came out on July 5th. Of 2024. What I want to do in this video is I'm going to show you where this welcome to Lynville sign is at least the one we think the Chris means. I'll get into that. I'm going to show you the surrounding area and just going to do a little bit of my own theorizing on this entire disappearance as I go through this. Of course, please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to this channel. Even consider hitting the join button below. That certainly helps what we do here at Unfound. And please remember that we have social media sites on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, the X, formerly known as Twitter, and of course the website, theunfoundpodcast.com. All right, so this is a satellite view of this little town of Lynville, Indiana. And if you'd like me to zoom out to kind of show you where it is in the grand scheme of things, there is Evansville. You can see it right there, just where it says, of course, where it says Evansville. Up here to the northeast, French Lick. If you don't know French Lick, that is where Larry Bird, NBA Hall of Famer, is from. And see, this is kind of more south. You can see Bloomington. You can see St. Louis just almost off the screen there on the left to the west. In contrast to, you see Indianapolis out there. So this is the area. I think maybe within the next month or so, we'll actually be featuring a disappearance from up in the Indianapolis area, coincidentally. So coming back down here to Lynville, there was this route. Now you see Route 64 here. That is, I don't know necessarily if it's an interstate. I guess it is. But the road we want to concentrate on actually is the one that runs parallel to it right along here. It's called Route 68. And you can see it runs east and west, runs across the screen, not up and down. And here is Lynville. And this red line here is kind of the demarcation of the city limits. And there are a few welcome to Lynville signs, which you would think even so this would make it easy to understand. But as you now know, Chris did an interview with River City Mysteries on YouTube. And not even Chris in his 40-minute interview says exactly which welcome to Lynville sign he means. There are at least two of them. I'm only going to show you the one that I think he's talking about. And you should know that even Rachel and Cecilia are just, of course, we're all just going by what Chris said. So keep that in mind. But there are two that, so I have to kind of decipher what Chris said, what Rachel and Cecilia said, what I think I understand about this disappearance to pick out the right one. And even if you go to the news stories, they act like there's only one welcome to Lynville sign. Well, actually, there's at least two because you can get to Lynville from different directions. The one I'm going to look at is down right in here, so to the west of the town. But there is another one right over here, where, of course, they're right on the edge of town, like any welcome to any town. That's where the signs are. So keep that in mind. But I think the way Chris explains everything else, this is the correct one. So we're now going to go down to a street view, but maybe I want to do this. You can see we've got this park here. It's a Lynville Park. here. We got some forest over here. And these red lines, the reason they're like this is because those are little waterways. Those are little kind of a lake and streams. You can see it right in here, permeating through all of this forest here, and especially over here where it even seems there are these little red circles. Well, those are islands on this little lake. So that's, if you're wondering, well, what is that red line? Why does it look like that? That's why. So allegedly, I believe Zac got out of the vehicle right in here, and he went off in some direction here. Now, what surprised me was how close this really was to town. Of course, being that it says welcome to Lynville, maybe we should just take for granted it was at least a little close to town. But what's also interesting, though, is when we take you down to street view, you're going to see that you can't tell necessarily that the town is there. So I'll take you down there, put our little orange human. And so now we are on this Route 68, and look at me, I got it right on the button. There is one of the welcome to Lynville signs, and you should know the other one on the other side of town looks exactly the same. So we have this welcome to Lynville sign right there, and right down the street here, if you follow right around this curve where this 18-wheeler is going, that is where Lynville is. And, let's see how long it takes us to get down there to get right, so those are the first buildings of Lynville. So kind of close, but out here, I don't, if you're coming along here, I don't know if you're going to realize you're going to be running into a town in a little bit, although I realize all these people are from this area. Now, where exactly his phone was and cigarettes, I don't know, but, looking at this does not look like a fun area to search at all. There is basically no hole in the tree line here for a human to get in there. I mean, once again, if you're looking at it from a search point of view, if you're looking at it from a point of view of somebody who maybe isn't in his right mind or whatever, then maybe this doesn't mean much. Suppose we go kind of in here, maybe we start to see some openings. You also have to remember there's water. As I showed you from the satellite view, there is a lake over there eventually. If you keep going, not a very big one. It's kind of a snaky, very skinny and long lake, but it's there. So this is where, in this general area, somewhere in here, I think it was on this side of the street, so this would be on the north side, is where his phone was found and where the cigarettes and lighter were found. Now, you might remember from the interview with Rachel and Cecilia, they talked about an entrance, and I think what they meant was right over here, not too far away. There is this area right here that certainly does lead into a park type of area. There's bike trails and things like that. And like I said, there's a lake to the north side of this road. So seemingly they were coming down this road one way or the other. Zac wanted let out. And maybe that's not crazy, being that there is a pull-off right here. There's the sign right down there. There's this pull-off right here. So maybe that makes sense. Hey, just pull over right here, Zac said to him. Chris pulls in, and there you go, if you want to believe that. Now, just in comparison, I'm going to show you the other Welcome to Lynville sign, and you're going to notice just kind of a little bit different situation, and maybe you understand why I don't think it's that one. So we're going back up to satellite view, and I want you to take another look at this area right in here. Pretty forested, and it does not look like an area that would be easy to search to me. Of course, we've done a lot of these videos, And we run into this a lot where we look at videos or look at terrain and say, wow, this would not be easy. So the other sign, and you're going to see what I mean, it looks exactly the same. So don't be misled by the news stories because they're going to show a picture of the sign. Well, that's it. Well, yeah, the signs look the same. So here is the other welcome to Lynville sign on Route 68. At least Chris was fairly straightforward about that. Here's the other sign. And you can see it's exactly the same. Same kind of wood, same kind of paint, same lettering, everything. Looks exactly the same. Now, what's different, though, is there's businesses right here. There are houses across the street. There's a house right there, being very well maintained, obviously lived in. There are people, there are businesses, houses, plenty of humans who live in this area, all over this area, in contrast to the other Welcome to Lynville sign, which is on the other side of town. So, see, looking this direction, we're looking west. We're looking toward the other sign. Whereas if we're looking this direction going east, we're looking away from Lynville. So once again, as best as I can tell, it is not this sign that Chris means. He means the other one on the other side of town. Now, going back up the street or to satellite view, this that sign is right there. Certainly not even as close to as wooded as over here, but you can see how close these signs are to each other. It's not, I don't know, a mile, not even. The one sign's here, right here, and then the other sign is right about where the 68 number is. I would say that's about 4,000 feet, which is less than a mile, like 4/5 of a mile. So it's one of those things, doesn't even really matter which sign it is. It's kind of all in the same area. The difference is they got this town in the middle. But what I would say is that of the two choices, either the sign on the west side of town or the sign on the east side of town, I think it makes more sense that if we're to believe what Chris's story is, that we're talking about over here. Over here, I mean, certainly could have walked off in this area, but we do have more people who would be in this area, and maybe we might think that somebody would have spotted Zac when this all happened that day, but obviously nobody saw him. But we have some more, maybe if he got up going this direction, nobody saw him, and you know, it's a lot farther, but you look at this area, you went out into these woods. Of course, I'm hoping he's still alive, but if he's not, if we're looking at the east side of town, then maybe we're looking over here, but he would have had to have gone a lot farther, a lot more people to pass if they were around. Over here, just a couple steps, and he's into the woods, even if he chose to go this way. Of course, the highway's right here, but easier over here, harder over here, but not impossible. So there you go. That is the map analysis. Once again, it all comes down to whether you choose to believe Chris or not. I'm hoping you will listen to Unfound's episode, then go to the River City Mystery channel on YouTube and listen to what Chris had to say. As I state in the episode that I did talk to the host, and you should know that it was edited down to 40 minutes. Actually, the conversation was quite a bit longer than that, but it was edited down because Chris tended to repeat himself on a lot of topics over and over and over. So the host, Matt, decided, all right, well, I'll just narrow it down to the essentials. It's his show. Just so you know that. I don't think necessarily that anything that got edited out would have helps us more in any way. That's my impression. So you can do that, choose what to believe, but that is the area where Chris said Zac got out left his ID behind, social security card behind, cash behind, took his phone, took his cigarettes and lighter, and was gone. Of course, we know those items were found later. And that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, share it. Consider joining. If you're not a CIATA subscriber, hit the button in the bottom right-hand corner. And I will talk to you again very soon.